right, let's talk about it. Let me see if I zoom out. Maybe I'm too dark. Don't know. Cheat codes. So, in the last couple weeks, I've given two different talks. One was on a panel, and one was a talk at a school in Texas. And like, it's always like, well, what did you do? What did you do? How should I start my career? And this is only my view on how maybe what I did can help you. Depending on your algorithm online, right? And I guess what you're into, algorithm, you're being fed a lot of stuff that's like, again, like, let me move in a little closer. You're being fed a lot of things that are like, oh, this is, you need to have a morning routine. You need to read. You need to, and again, here's what I'll say. All of it's true. You need all of it. The reality, though, is that there is no real cheat code. I don't know how else to say that. I don't know if I would have even listened to that in my 20s, right? I personally, what I would say is like I always hated the idea of focus. I've always hated the idea of passion. I would say at this point I definitely have some version of focus, and I would say at this point I'm passionate about the fact that I'm kind of good at something and that I've been consistent at it and we're becoming the leader in it. Like, could I have done that in my 20s? I don't know if I could have. And so the other thing I wanted to point out, obvious in the idea of the cheat code, is that, again, my fellow panelists, the fellow people who are being interviewed, I mean, the average age is probably like 40 plus, right? I'm 42. So you're talking to 20-year-olds and you're trying to tell them what 20 years of life experience is. And in some cases, you're genuinely trying to help alleviate any of the mistakes you made, or if they would have gotten there sooner. Surround yourself with the right people. Well, it's like, duh. Like, when you're in it, it's hard as fuck to see it. And I don't know if anyone would even listen to that. The other cliche advice I've heard over the years was, one, get to profitability. Yeah, when you're just trying to make payroll, like, duh, but it's true. It's like, so if anything, what I wanted to do this video for was purely just to be like, look, there is no real cheat code. It's 20 years of hard work, 10 if you're lucky, right? But 10 at 22 is you're 32, right? 20 at 22 is 42, And again, it's like ultimately what I would say nowadays is like life's about relationships. But here's what happens. Me saying that to you, I'm talking to myself in my 20s. I always say, like, that's easy to say when you have money, right? And it's true. It is, right? I would say, like, in my 20s, I chased money. In my 30s, I chased what I would call knowledge, right? Like, how do I get better at this thing that I'm doing? And then my 40s have been about, okay, how do I leverage, what I'm actually kind of good at alongside of you make money doing it. But then, like, how do you help other people and lift them up? And honestly, I don't think it's unique to me. I think I see it in between a lot of the people that you run into online and whatnot. But again, like, this series is called Confessions of a Small-Time CEO, right? I haven't done it. I still don't fly private. Nothing, I enjoy it with the hell out. What do we do? I love our customers. And I always just look at it as like a journal of like thoughts, feelings. If it relieves a little bit of anxiety for somebody, then it served its purpose. If it's a note to my future self about how I thought about today, that's what it's for. And so, yeah, there is no cheat code. It's just time and effort. And unfortunately, it's a long time. So like truly, 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 if you can, enjoy the ride.